Okay, I think we can step by step start our meeting. I think we all hear everything is good. You hear me, you see me, everything is fine. Yes?
Yes.
Great. So then hello to everyone. Hello, our dear speakers today. Hello, everyone who is joining us right now and online. My name is Rolands. I'm the moderator for this event today. And today we are here to discuss very interesting topic about vegan category, about vegan products. And today we are invited here also very professional people from this field, and we will try together find common, discuss common questions and topics regarding this. And before I will introduce our speakers to audience, I would like to say two more technical things. First one is to everyone who is watching us right now and online, you are able to ask any question if you have some. Just press on the chat button and you can write down your question, and later afterwards we will have Q&A section when we will answer your question. So basically, if you have something, please do it. And the second one, I would also once again remind to our speakers that today you are also allowed to ask your own questions if you have some during our conversation. And also you can add something to previous speaker if you have some. And my idea is I would like to create this conversation in like a live way. So of course we try not to interrupt each other. We try not to be rude. We are polite, and yeah. But my task is to moderate this, follow the time, and ask these important questions, which I sorry, which I would like to ask. So yeah, that was from my side. And right now, I think we can start with a short introduction. And I would like to make it in a way that I would like to give a couple of minutes to each of you and introduce yourself. And then just to say, who are you? Where are you from? What are you representing? What is your product brand? So our audience can understand who we are dealing today with. So I would like to start with Henrik, probably. Hi again, Henrik. So maybe
Hi.
you can take your lead and then explain who are you and what you are expecting
I can
and
do
what
that.
you are doing. Yeah.
My name is Henrik Lund, and I'm the CEO of a Danish company called Naturli. Founded back in 1988, we produce and sell 100% plant-based products in categories like dairy, butter, ice cream, condiments, meat-free. We are, since 2010, partly owned by Orkla, and is the leading star in Orkla's 2025 strategy for plant-based, for taking over Scandinavia with plant-based love. And we do that every day. And you could say that, and I think this is it is very pleasant in with the things we have to on the agenda for today, is that we aim for producing and delivering one-to-one non-compromising products to mainstream consumers. So in Denmark, everybody loves butter, minced meat, cow milk. So of course we don't have to invent a new deep plate. We could just make these things 100% plant-based, tasty. It should taste at least as good as conventional food, and even better. And that is our aim for our business. And we have succeeded with that since 2 years. We are in 20 markets around the world, as far away as Australia and New Zealand. We have 5 production facilities in Denmark, and we just opened a meat-free production facility in Sydney, Australia.
Okay, great. Sounds very good. Okay, thank you, Henrik. Andrea, maybe we can continue with you.
Yeah, thanks, Andrea. Andrea speaking from Italy. I'm in charge since 10 years more or less as CEO for Valsoia. Valsoia company is the #1 brand in Italy for plant-based products, born 30 years ago as a pioneer in this market, and we cover from let's say breakfast to dinner. We have a lot of different lines of product, all 100% plant-based, from beverage to ice cream, dessert, yogurt, meat alternative, both in ambient, chilled, and frozen. Effectively, our market share in Italy is over 50%, and let's say since at least 6-7 years, we are going abroad, of course having in mind that our market is always a niche versus the regular market, regular food, but anyway, having the chance to cover a different momentum of consumption, we have been able to build somewhere a leadership, not exactly like in Italy, but anyway, to build the brand Valsoia, even in some countries in Europe, in the US, starting now in Canada, and looking at the amazing trend of this market, increasing in terms of penetration, and having seen a very interesting developing goodness even in the area of taste and good product, not just functional product to solve a problem, but even to become a good product really close to the regular food.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Let's continue with Swansea. Swansea, hi, once again. Please tell us about yourself.
Yes, I'm unmuting myself. I wanted to respect the others and not do too much noise, especially as I sneezed. I'm so sorry. My name is Swantje, and just Andrea and Henrik, that you know, I'm one of your consumers, so I know your products. They are good, they're valuable in France and in Germany, and so just about my background. I am originally from Germany, but I live in France and 12 years now in the capital in Paris, and when I started working, I was in event management, and I am still in event management, so I'm not at all from the producer side. However, I am in the ethical and vegan event management. This means that I am specialized in online and offline events for the vegan and animal cause since 10 years approximately. I knew Veggie World. It's Europe's largest trade show for vegan products, and they started in Germany, and I knew the show from Germany, and I saw that there was no event like this in France, and so I took the initiative to propose a conception adapted to the French culture and the French needs, because they are different to the German consumers regarding vegan products. It's still a little bit behind the market here, and so I established Veggie World here several years ago, and since then it grew and it spread. We have Veggie World this weekend in Paris with 110 brands from all the vegan lifestyle products you can imagine, food and clothes and beauty products associations. And so I have quite a good overview of what's going on in Europe regarding the market, regarding vegan products, the development, all the trends and so on. And I'm really happy to be part of the webinar today.
Thank you, Swansea. Yes, nice to have you here. Sanita, it's time to you.
Yeah, hi. Well, I'm Sanita. I'm from company KARAVELA. I'm sales director in company KARAVELA, and I guess recently, not even 1 year, when we started our vegan fish substitute from plant-based, which is fish piece, and so we are, I guess, compared to the other speakers, we are the new on this category, but at the same time, we come from the big company. We have experience in exporting to more than 46 countries. Our turnover is over 60 million euros, and we produce more than 90 million cans per year. So I would say that we had set up the goal of entering the plant-based fish alternative, and mainly it came from the problem that we could not find any good quality, or from our opinion, the good quality fish substitute. So this is, I guess, very important also topic for us, and we also gained during the years some kind of experience, and still have a lot of questions. I guess this is what we were trying to answer. Where are we with all this from technical side in a previous webinar, which was yesterday. So yeah, I guess yeah, that's it for introduction.
Okay, thank you for all of you. I believe that right now we have better understanding who are you and what you're representing, and I will try to lead our conversation from more or less global topics to our main topic about the retail shelves and retailers. But I would like to start with one short but very interesting and probably funny story about myself. This is a story which I called How I Became a Flexitarian. Many years ago, well, not many, but a few years ago, actually word vegetarian, vegan lifestyle, that was something absolutely crazy for me. I didn't understand what does it mean being vegan. I thought that vegans, they are people from other planet. I really don't understand the lifestyle. I can't imagine that there is so big range of product. There is a lot of different plant-based diets. So, and yeah, but in the same time, there was a lot of information around me in social media, in Instagram, even a few of friends of mine were vegans, and they were saying, you know, that's a great lifestyle. And I said, okay, if there is a lot of information like this, that maybe I should at least try some product and at least try to understand what is it about. And I decided to buy some vegan product. I went to the store. That was, of course, challenge to find this vegan shelf, but I found it and then bought some product. And after that, I decided that, okay, I will try it. I bought, I guess, something from Meat Alternative. I don't remember exactly what was that, but my idea was I wanted to try how fake sausage tastes and then understand what is the difference, because I'm a meat eater in general. So, and I bought it, I tried, tasted, and I thought, okay, actually not so bad. And then I thought, okay, maybe I get my lucky punch and I just grabbed the best and the tastiest product from the shelf and bought. And I have to try once again. Then I buy something more. Then I buy again and again and again. And then I understood, hey, I'm buying vegan products actually. Why? Because it sounds good. And right now, and this time, today, I can say that I found it actually very useful that I can make this, let's call it relief for my meal plan, when I can not eat junk food, when I can not eat the heavy food. And I have to be honest, right now I am practicing about 5, 6, or even 7 days per month when I eat only plant-based food. And you know, I'm feeling good. So my understanding and my opinion about this vegan food and being vegan lifestyle a little bit changed. Of course, I can't cancel and avoid meat from my daily meal, but still, I'm okay with that. I'm flexitarian. I accepted it. This is my new status. So, and based on this, I can make a logical conclusion that vegan lifestyle actually is some kind of alternative for absolutely non-vegan persons and for flexitarians as me. And here's like one of them. My first question to you: do you agree with this, Henrik? For example, what is your experience with flexitarians, and do your customers consist mostly of real true vegans, or there is a part of flexitarians? Because I really believe that the main mass of this vegan consumer in general should consist of flexitarians. I don't know, this is just my point of view. Maybe you can say something about this question.
Definitely, I can. Remember, Roland, first of all, it's not an alternative. It's a new food culture. Okay, that said, we have been around since 1988. We have 500,000 people following us on social media. So I would say that we have a huge community of people who are vegans and vegetarians, and they buy our product because they find that the taste is unique and the declaration is very short on many of our products. But taste is everything for us, and that is also the reason why more and more people are coming from conventional food, given meat, dairy products, and is entering the plant-based category. But I think new consumers coming towards naturally are mainstream consumers. They are flexitarians. Our target group is not vegans and vegetarians, because vegans, they know how to cook a carrot, so it will be even more joyful than a ribeye. Let me tell you that. So I look at Naturli as a provider of convenience products, and it's a good way of entering the plant-based universe. And once you are there, you will also get very, very interested in what can you do with just normal vegetables and fruit. So I'm just the middleman, so to speak. But for us, it's mainstream consumers. That's where the mass market is, and that is also why retailers find plant-based food very, very interesting. But we are coming back to that point later. So I guess that's my take. We have vegans, vegetarians, flexitarians. We are very lucky.
Okay, thank you. Andrea, you are also working with brands, and then you had a quite wide range of product. What is the situation on your side? What do you think about vegan lifestyle and so on?
But let's say that starting from some numbers, in Italy, we are more or less 25 million families, and on the 25 million families, 18 are the total among vegan, vegetarian, and flexitarian. The major part of this number is flexitarian. Let's say more or less 13 million family coming in the last 5-6 years around the table of vegan products. To be honest, having said that, Valsoia is the pioneer of this market, born 30 years ago. Our major part of target group is based on vegetarian and vegans that are effectively even still the heavy users of this market. But in the last 5 years, let's say more or less, the increasing number of flexitarian gave the opportunity to all the market increase tremendously, adding people not heavy users because of flexitarian, but giving at all the company working in our market a really important and impressive stimulus, let's say, connected with the goodness of the product. And in our opinion, this has been a step change in our market, because at the beginning we were something able to give an alternative, or I'm sorry, not exactly an alternative, the unique alternative to the regular food, because our target group was vegans and vegetarians, that for choice or for some matter connected with healthy problem like intolerance or allergy, was impossible for them to approach the conventional product. So it was very important to be able to find an alternative to eat something on the shelf in a supermarket. And to be honest, when I joined the company 10 years ago, was immediately clear that the level of the product in terms of goodness itself was really far from the conventional food. The entrance of flexitarian gave us a new aim, a new goal, to be able to embrace all this new guy around this table. Our aim was definitely to improve the goodness of our product. I'm speaking from my company, but it's the same, of course, for all the other company and brand involved in our market. And after 5-6 years, the general level of our products has been definitely tremendously improved. And in my opinion, this is one reason supporting the enlargement of the target group, because having our products near the conventional products, I know that is probably something we are going to touch later, but is sometimes something that gives the opportunity for people that have not still discovered they are flexitarian to try our product, finding them at very good level with more value connected with sustainability and healthiness, generally speaking, finding them good. So, in my opinion, flexitarian is has been and is today a very important part of our engine to develop the category.
Okay, thank you for your answer. That was very interesting. Sanita, do you have something to add about this topic?
Well, Sanita, if you don't mind, I just give a very short reflection of the consumers we have at Veggie World, because there have been some changes in the past years. So we started the very first edition in France in 2016, and almost 75% of the visitors were vegan or vegetarian, if it's regarding the food consumers. And nowadays, so almost 6 years later, we are counting approximately half of the visitors which are vegan and vegetarian, which means that half of the other visitors, the consumers, the food consumers, are whether flexitarians or omnivores. So this is just reflecting a little bit also the trends. As Hendrik said, the vegans or vegetarians nowadays, the consumers, they are aware of the products which are existing on the market. They follow the trends, and here at Veggie World, we have a very young public also. The consumers are between 25 and 45 years. They get a lot of information through social media. That's something other generations before they didn't have the same access. So I see that there's a very strong development towards more acceptance for vegan products and the curiosity to try them. So the visitors we have at Veggie World, the 75% of flexitarians and omnivores which come to Veggie World, they really would like to consume better, do something for their health as a primary reason, and then also for as a second reason the animals and the environment. And that's a very nice development which we see here.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I shortly tell. Well, it's my story is very close to the Roland's, because of course we were fish eaters, and that was our main diet every day. And today, when we started with fish-based products, I see how easy is to convince people to become a flexitarians, because I was giving the samples to my friends and relatives, and maybe you want to try. I think that a few years ago they would say, no, I'm not going to eat that. But today they say, yes, I will try, and asking when I will bring a new samples. And also I think, of course, it was not good for business for some parts. Okay, for us it was good, the pandemic. But what I learned also from all around the people here, when we were locked down, we were starting to read more about alternative eating. People were thinking how to become more healthy. So, and today I see that people do not consider or do not think about protein only as a fish and meat. So they know that there are also alternatives or other ways how to gain the protein into their lives. So I think that was also something where we accidentally gained more people into this vegan and vegetarian. Yeah.
Yes, actually, that is a good point. Henrik, Andre, what is about your brands during this pandemic period? How the situation on the market or on the sales, how it's moved for up or down, or it was still?
But from our side, during the pandemic period, we had the chance to double check the value of the brand. I mean, during the precedent 2-3 years before pandemic period, we had a sort of overbooking of new products coming on the shelf. And to be honest, in that period, too many new company decided to enter in this kind of market that at the end of the day is anyway a niche with a high level of loyalty, and people asked to trust in the brand on the shelf, because at the end of the day, okay, the goodness, but you are anyway covering a special need of the consumer, connected often with their healthy. So having on the shelf a tremendous number of new product, new brand, coming from big multinational company, medium company, startup, we observed, and at the end we got a high level of confusion. Probably due to this confusion, above all, the flexitarian target, not moved by a need, but sometimes by curiosity, trying product not at a good level, decided to avoid the category, to jump the category. So we had even a couple of years with the consumption trend negative, going down, slowing down, less 5%, less 6%. You know that, okay, after a good number of years increasing in double digit, anyway, in the food category, because at the end of the day, we are in the food category, a decreasing around 5%, 6% is not normal, but we registered that. During the pandemic period, above all, category managers and buyers decided to clean the shelf and the category, cutting all the brand or products with a low velocity and a low performance, due to the fact that families going into the store and having less time, their time to buy was they had to do faster because of pandemic period, and was very important to trust in the brand. So in our market, the consumption trend restarted during the pandemic period, and our brand gained more and more market share. So we have been able to enlarge our target group, the number of family, not just speaking about our loyal family since the beginning, but even covering probably more flexitarian people. After that, the baseline was higher than the beginning of the pandemic. This is our history in Italy.
Okay, great. Thank you. Henrik, something to add?
Yeah, it's very similar. We used the pandemic to also clean out in the closet, get rid of the red tail, strengthen our innovation work, because I think will be a huge drive on nutrition and health post pandemic. So that is very, very interesting in looking into that, what conventional food offers from a nutritional aspect, and how we can build this with new functionalities in plant-based products. But it was very divided. We had, if I divided up, exports, very, very difficult. Just before the pandemic, we entered 2 states on the East Coast with meat-free products. That was very hard, not being able to travel to the US. So we actually shut this business down because, running the business in exports market, not being able to travel, very difficult. Of course, we have partners in a lot of the markets, but a new market like the US, that was challenging. A lot of new clients we gained from trade shows. We have a really good results of joining and showcasing our products in trade shows. And we couldn't do that. Everything was postponed or cancelled. But if we look at our main market, Denmark, it was very divided. Dairy, spreads, ice cream, growth, meat-free decline. In Denmark, people are very, very traditional. And when they were sent home from work, the weekend moved into the working days. So every day it was Saturday, and let's have a roast or some meat. And it was crazy. The first day of the lockdown in Denmark, I remember it, March 11, 2020 in Denmark. I went to a huge hypermarket we have in Denmark called Bilka, and no toilet paper left in the supermarket. And in the meat aisle, our products are placed in the mainstream categories. In the meat aisle, all red meat, all pork, all chicken, fish, everything sold out. There was only 1 meter in the middle of the counter having the naturally meat-free assortment. So no matter how deep the crisis was with Corona, we couldn't force more plant-based meat-free products into the Danes. And that actually kept going, because people got frightened. And when you're afraid of what this pandemic will do to you as an individual, you sort of pull back, and you sort of grab the things that you know are safe. Okay, so you seek for a safe corner, and that was definitely not the burger patty from Naturli'. So very divided. We are really glad that the pandemic is post, and that we now can travel around the world and sell Naturli' products again.
Okay, great. Thank you. You, Henrik, mentioned these fairs, these exhibitions, and Swansea. I have a question to you. You organize vegan fairs, as you mentioned, I guess about 7-10 years, yes, right now. And I'm quite sure that you met a lot of people, different kind of people, as true vegans and as companies who are producing different plant-based products. And my question to you would be how you could describe the vegan category development through the year, because you have statistics, you see how everything developed. And what is your opinion? Is the vegan finally, in the end of the day, is the new must-have in our society in this momentum right now?
Well, I compare a lot to between the countries Germany, where I am approximately once a month, and France, and there are huge differences. So if we see the development of vegan products here in the supermarkets, it's quite difficult still. Sometimes you don't find the products, sometimes they are just mixed up with other products. Then you have directly some complaints saying, in French, you call it les consommateurs sont trompés. That means like you're cheating on the consumers because you put a vegan product, like you're hiding it between some real meat product. And then there was a huge issue going on with the law of titling, you know, like plant-based milk. Well, you're not allowed to call it milk. You're not allowed to call it steak. Many issues were going on, also politics. Then lobbies went inside. So it is still very difficult about having a really a vegan category being identified as a vegan product. Even huge companies, there was like a very bad campaign by Dr. Oetker, for example. They called their pizza vegetal, and vegetal means, translated in English, it means plant-based. But it was full of cheese, so you know, it's still very difficult. You have to really do a lot of information work behind. And that's why it's very important here in France to have products certified. So you have really a certified and identified product, whether with a V-label certification or other certification, where it's written, this is a vegan product or this is a vegetarian product. However, if you want to find them in large supermarkets, you still need to really search. You have mostly more access, like when you go in an organic shop, but then obviously the vegan products all need to have also the organic certification, which is not always the case. It's not automatically when you have a vegan product, it's also organic, not at all. And so, yeah, when you compare this to Germany, you can go in a supermarket and you literally have one aisle where it says, this is the vegan aisle. And you can just go enter, and you know that the yogurt on the left or the butter on the right or any other product is an actual vegan or plant-based product. So yeah, this is my opinion about the development between the two countries. Germany is more advanced. It's still very difficult in France because of the entire situation. And yeah, I have seen this reflection also during all the events I've been organizing on and offline in the past 2 years, that there were always some difficulties from country to other countries. Spain as well, I heard. So yeah.
Okay, I see Henrik has raised hand. You can you want to something?
Yeah, because this is very interesting, Svante. I totally agree. And you know, I find it is very interesting that you see the dairy and meat industry really pushing hard on lobbyism into the EU for more strict regulation on their decreasing categories. And I think it's funny because if you look at milk consumption in Denmark, and actually the Nielsen company, they now divide milk sales into the cow milk and the plant-based milk alternatives. And in Denmark, it's 95% of the volume sold is cow milk, 5% is plant-based drinks. So I don't know what they're afraid of, or maybe I do. Because in 2019, if you look at Denmark, and we consume a lot of fresh cow milk in Denmark, everybody is raised on cow milk. You won't be anything in society. Back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, you were introduced to cow milk in the schools. You had 1/4 of a liter of cow milk each day, and it was awful. It was hot and it tasted awful. But from your kid, you are introduced that cow milk is what will get you a nice career later in life. So that is the assumption. And it's funny to see how the dairy industry, they are afraid of the decline they have. And they are afraid because they also look into the future on a longer term. And they know for a fact, if you ask Friesland Campina, Arla, all the big dairy industry companies, they know that their sales will go down in their main markets. They are only saying that they have increasing sales because they make it when the sales going down in our rich part of the world, they go to India and they make cow milk trendy. And that is very peculiar also in the climate change discussion. In Denmark in 2019, in volume, cow milk declined with 2.7%. Plant-based drinks increased with 39.7%. Of course, it's a different volume base, but it just says something about the consumer mind shift. And the dairy and meat industry, they are very, very aware of this. So therefore, they push hard to make really, really hard regulatives. We won the sausage gate, as we call it in Naturli', when the EU wanted to ban that we could call a plant-based product a sausage, which is stupid because it has the structure, the size of the shape of a sausage. And then last year, you know, the amendment 171, where they wanted to ban that we could use as a plant-based industry the word creamy for plant-based yogurt, totally ridiculous. It can only be a cow milk-based yogurt that can be creamy. Where does this come from? They also claimed that we were trying to sell plant-based drinks in a carton that looked like the carton they sell milk in. So therefore, consumers were cheated into believing it was cow milk. And that was actually the reason for the increasing sales of plant-based drinks. You know, and a lot of companies got together and we did this petition. We got nearly 500,000 people to sign the petition. And then the politicians in the EU got really, really scared that they would lose their chair. Because it's the life and bread sitting in the parliament doing stupid regulatives, and they took it away because of a pressure from the people, from the consumers of the future, young people. And when I say it's a new food culture coming, I really mean it. My kids, their kids, the next generation, they won't eat meat and drink cow milk. They will think that is strange. And they will think that plant-based products taste so much better. If I ask a consumer in Denmark, how describe the taste of cow milk, they say, yeah, what does it taste of? It's very cold and it has a fatty consistency. So, you know, and a plant-based drink made of oat, it just tastes fantastic. And you can't even taste it when you pour it over your oats in a bowl. So the future is plant-based, and the conventional industry, they're afraid of us. And if you can't beat them, join them. Now we see Arla introduced plant-based milks last year. Danish Crown, one of the world's largest meat industry, they introduced this year a meat-free range. But they're interested in the plant-based category out of business economic reasons. We are here with a pure heart. A lot of people following us since 1988 and since 2010 when we entered Facebook, they believe that Naturli' is not only a food company, we're also an NGO. They believe that we will do something, we will do our best, strive hard to change the climate change that we see every day. And make a more greener future for our kids and grandchildren. Mm-hmm. And that matters.
Okay, Sanita, you also raised the hand, so you have something to add, or?
Yes, well, we very clear see how which problems we have to face to put our products on the shelf, which kind of to prove it's not or prove to be good enough to stand on the shelf. But I think that also out of this there is a question to the production companies who are producing the cow meat or dairy milk, like cow meat. Cow milk, and or any other non-plant-based product is that are we really taking away from them the consumer? Because a lot of times we know how many reasons there are why people change their mind and they become vegans or vegetarians. It's not only because they don't want to eat meat, because vegans told them not to eat meat. No, it's totally not. The reasons why people become flexitarians or vegetarians or vegans are totally different. It's care about the climate change, it's care about the animals, it's because of a diet, it's because of a health. So there are so many reasons why it happens. So they just thinking that we are taking away from someone the market share. I think it's not the right approach, because we are just bringing back people to the retailers actually with our products from the small shops where they could find something maybe more suitable for them. Now they can also go and shop the same products what they could buy in the small shops. Now they can buy also in the retail. So because there is an offer much bigger, wider, and people can decide also if they become vegans or vegetarians or they just want to eat plant-based, then they go to the shelf and they see, okay, today I'm the meat eater, or today I am the plant-based food eater. So I think it's very important also to tell the world that we are not taking a market share. We are just giving alternatives to the people who decide themselves to not to eat, for example, meat.
Okay, thank you. And shortly, maybe Andrea, maybe you can also comment this topic which Henrik commented, because you also have in your product range different plant-based drinks and yogurts. So maybe you can also add something to this, and then we will go further.
Oh, yes, I mean, we are even part of ENSA. ENSA is the European Plant-Based Association, born 25 years ago. And around the table of ENSA are the pioneer in this market, with a clear aim that is at the beginning to offer an alternative to the target group not able to drink or eat conventional food for any matters, any reason. What is important to say is that one of our claims in ENSA is not to be against the regular food or the conventional food. We are what we are. I mean, we are clearly positioned on an area of alternative to the regular food, giving ingredients able to give nutritional part needed by the final shopper and the consumer. At the end of the day, in my opinion, we are still a niche, a really growing niche, and the problem of the conventional market is not connected with our growing trend. Is probably inherent to their structure to be decreasing for meat and for beverage and for the other segment of the market. On the other side, there is the plant-based products that are growing organically, following the wave that is the good trend for the plant-based products. So what the message is, we shouldn't run the risk to fall short with our expectation like sometimes the organic products did. Because at the end of the day, we even need to support the growth of our market that has inherent a strong reason to grow, supporting the brand building. Otherwise, if we should just speaking about products, we could run the risk to arrive at the end of the day like the organic market that is really big, of course, but without brand, and at the end of the day, flat and sometimes decreasing. It's important to develop inside our market even the strength of the brand, connecting people with product through the brand. So in the long term, we have the chance to compare and to fight at the same level with the conventional brand in the other field.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, so basically, I think we discussed a little bit more or less some global topics, and now I would like to go a little bit deeper in a discussion about retailers and about the stores. So, and my question will be forwarded to Sanita. KARAVELA, as you mentioned, launched last year absolutely new category for your business and absolutely new vegan canned seafood product under this brand Fish Piece. And of course, we understand that this brand wasn't represented widely yet because exhibitions were closed and so on. But anyway, can you please tell us what is the current situation in vegan seafood market and how do you think is a vegan lifestyle, which we are talking about, is a some kind of sales point for retailers. Basically, when you are going to your customers with this new product, can you use this different advantages of being vegan as a unique selling point, like for example?
Yeah. Okay, understood. Thanks. Yes, we are totally new in this category. So we had to learn this business and these arguments and everything from the beginning, from the zero. So actually, we faced what I see today. We faced two types of retailers. So one retailer who is saying no, it's vegan or vegetarian is very small. It's we are not even looking into this. Actually, this the biggest part of this arguments actually I heard in Italy, which was surprisingly because Valsoja is also presented in Latvia and very, very good presented in Latvia. Even I knew about the brand. But I think it's just it depends, of course, of the retailer who thinks so or not. But and it's not only in Italy. I didn't want to say that. But then also from the other side, we had the retailers who said, yes, we need something like this because we know all today that there is no more cheap products. So let's if we take, I don't know, the same what I know the best is a fish shelf. Previously we had very cheap, not cheap from the protein or from the nutrition fact, but from point of view of the price because of a different production efficiency and so on products. And after all this price increase in everything, the cheap products were not cheap anymore. So today, actually, we need the retailers. They also started to think how they can increase the value of the shelf. So today, putting another maybe 1 cent cheaper sardine or whatever, it will not make a value for a shelf. So the people clearly understand that they need something new. And there is also such a big society which is not yet communicated. So actually I would say from the retail side, there is these two worlds. So one who are saying, yes, we are ready to put something new on our shelf and let's go for it. We have very good experience in Belgium. We have very good experience in Austria. And at the same time, there are so many retailers who are still afraid and only because they don't have a statistics. And I also, of course, we can understand the retail. If they don't have a statistics, then they are kind of putting on a risk themselves to I don't know, to risk, but I don't know where's the risk. But anyway, it's and also I think it's today what is another issue is that there are not clear understanding where should the product be place and who is responsible for it? Is it the vegan buyer or is it the category buyer who is buying like this the non-plant-based category thing? So I think this is the biggest issues which we need to solve, or not solve, but face today when we are talking to the retailers.
Okay, thank you. And as Andrea and Henrik, you are also representing the brand. So what is your experience with communication with retailers, and what is the situation in your markets?
And it's starting from the point that the communication with retailers is always difficult, at least in Italy. Effectively, should be easier with this kind of market, because starting from the point that we cover a need. We cover a need that is increasing in double digit now, more or less everywhere in the world, and restarting in this direction even in Italy. Is a niche that is even premium price. So the value chain is very rich for the retailer. The profit and loss, profit in this case, for the retailer is a good point. I mean, we can discuss with them starting from probably small numbers in terms of market, but really increasing with a very good profitability at the end of the year, able to adjust even the profit and loss of the category made from plant-based and conventional products. So from our experience, they are not afraid to lose one sale of conventional product and having the alternative in terms of entrance as a shopper buying plant-based product, because the value is increasing. So having a strategy focusing on the brand, supporting the sales, and not just the sales of our brand, but even the sales of the total market, with innovation and with advertising, able to support the premium positioning, the discussion with the retailer should be easy now and for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Should be.
Okay, Henrik?
Yeah, we look at the market in a complete different way than Valsoya, because we look at the mainstream market, and that is actually our claim to fame, I would say. Since 2015, which was the really game changer for Naturli' when we invented the vegan butter that we now sell in 20 markets around the world, was that this product we convinced the retailers to place next to butter. And we eat a lot of butter in Denmark. The brand Lurpak, it's part of our cultural history. And the figures have been amazing. And that is also why that they placed also our meat-free range is in the meat aisle. Our plant-based milk alternatives is placed next to milk. In Denmark, we sell 98% of the consumption of cow milk is fresh milk with no more than maybe 24 days shelf life. And that is another important thing that the retailers, they can see when they add in a product from Naturli', that the shelf life is between 2 and 10 times higher than a conventional product. So I'm very proud that we can extend shelf life on our products, because that way we fight food waste, and we also fight the waste in the retailers chain. So I think that's important. First, we got the vegan butter into the butter shelves in Denmark. Then we moved on to the UK. Today in Sainsbury's, Waitrose, we are placed next to Lurpak, not with one SKU. We have 3 SKUs. We have a whole shelf for ourselves for Naturally spreadable. We just moved into 3,200 Lidl stores in Germany with our vegan butter. And I think that's amazing. In Lidl in Germany, we are placed right next to Magenbutter. And Svante, you know how much Magenbutter they consume in Germany. That is extremely high figures. So there's a change going on. And the important thing is to say that if I can give you an example on on sales, how the consumers look at conventional butter versus Naturally. The thing is that Lurpak butter, nearly 90% of the volume sold in a full year in Denmark is sold on promotion. When it comes to Naturally spreadable, it's only 23% that is sold on promotion. So people buy it at the base price, the normal price, and that adds value to a very, very stable, slightly decreasing category. So we are just delivering added value to retailers, and they really like that. And that is also why in Denmark you can see that retailers they use more space for plant-based food because it's a good business for them. And you know, retailers they would never use shelf space for something that didn't add value or products that the consumers wouldn't put down into the baskets. So I think that is very, very important that you have to convince the retailers to look at plant-based food as the new normal, as the part of the mainstream aisle. Because if you're only placed in a niche chiller down in the dark corner of the store, you won't get any new consumers. And if we think about the climate-friendly grocery shopping tour, which we care a lot for in Naturally, we do carbon emission calculation on all our products with an external partner, because we want to know how is our carbon emission compared to conventional food. Then you can see that also the retailers now, post-corona, they really have the green agenda as priority one. They also want to do something good for planet Earth and society. So I think right now we have a momentum like never before, and that is also why the Naturally vegan cowboys are traveling all over the world to embrace retailers and consumers with the products of the future, plant-based.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, Svante, you agree that it seems like that everything what we have discussed right now, it looks like a new angle for a regular shelf. Do you agree with such kind of saying?
So for a new shelf, you say?
Is a new angle of regular shelf. This.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because an entire new shelf, I am not quite convinced yet, but yes, a new angle. I'm pretty sure. Well, I see this more like from a consumer side. I'm not seeing it from the brand side. I would much appreciate it. For me, it would be easier to find products which I'm particularly searching for. But I would also understand the flexitarians or omnivores, which would just maybe fall over a vegan product because it is in the shelf itself, and so maybe then they say, okay, let's give it a try. So I would see it from the two point of views, you know.
Okay. Yeah, probably I would also some comment this that if we are looking right now on this global current situation, then of course we see that different prices for raw materials, logistics, they are rising in crazy way. And yeah, I totally agree that we have to speak with our retailers and explain that in this situation, end consumer will start to assessing their purchases probably and possibly looking for these alternatives in instead of current favorite products. So yeah, I believe it. So, and if we return to this story which I told you in the early beginning, that how I became the flexitarian. Basically, in our country, as I said, our vegan products, they are separated from the regular shelves, and it's quite a big challenge to find this shelf with vegan products. And in my case, I decided to try this alternative food only because there was a lot of information around me and I wanted to challenge myself. But still, if we are talking in context what we have discussed, that I really believe that right now there is a lot of people outside who will not specifically go to the vegan shelf only because, first of all, it's separated, and secondly, there is no information about this, so they don't understand this shelf. They don't understand the benefits and the idea of vegan products. And maybe once again, I would like to hear each of you the verdict. So in the end of the day, where we should put our products, we should divide it, or we can definitely say that we have to put it together. And the main two questions actually, what is the biggest advantages of acting like this? And in the end of the day, can this make a bigger profit to retailer? And it will be a strong argument or no. So probably every one of you can say just shortly, yes, we should, and why, and what is the advantages, and so on. Please, Sunny, you have raised your hand. You can.
Yeah, no, I was just because I need to ask our IT person so he sees that I need to raise the hand. Okay, so well, my comment maybe about the shelves and where it should stand for. So we know today in the retail we have the special stand for gluten-free, special stand for bio, special stand for organic, vegans. Then it's the regular shelf. If we look on our packaging, we have a clean label, we have gluten-free, we have allergen-free. So actually, of course, the best our product would stay on all these shelves at the same time. So if the person decides to go somewhere, so everywhere is our product. But of course, in the reality, it doesn't happen. So, of course, for the people who are looking for alternatives and to increase maybe this value of the shelf and increase the consumption, or also bringing back these people who are looking for some alternatives, if they want to have a meat alternative or milk alternative, they will go to a milk section, of course. And anyway, it will be the first place where the person will look for alternative, not going to vegan. And also there's still a lot of people who are like drinking the oat milk, for example, but they are against the vegans. Yes, so it's maybe I'm making it too loud, but okay, there are some they don't understand, saying that we don't understand that lifestyle or something like that, but they want to drink oat milk. Yes, so this is also the reason why I guess we should place these products, at least from my opinion, on the shelf. Also, if we look on a canned fish or canned fish alternative, is that if people are going somewhere, usually when we eat a canned fish or canned food, it's convenient, so it's to go out for somewhere to the picnic or to have it convenient to open at home. So different reasons. And of course, I will not, maybe I cannot even imagine that this kind of product can be on a vegan shelf. Yes, so this is also another point that I guess for different reasons, of course, the mainstream shelf is a place to be the alternative for the same product.
Okay, thank you. Andrea, your short opinion, how you see
Shortly, from our experience, close plant-based segment close to the conventional, and is definitely an opportunity to develop tremendously the profitability of the total category. Point, full stop.
Okay, that was really pretty short. Yeah. Henrik.
Yeah, we aim only for the mainstream aisles. and we have done that with success. And just a reflection, Spain has the highest consumption of plant-based milks per capita. And I think it has to do with that in Spain, people drink UHT cow milk. And that means that the cow milk UHT is located exactly next to the shelves with all the plant-based milks. So of course, a lot of mainstream consumers, they also get interested in oat milk. What is that? Soy milk. What is that? Let me try it. Maybe it's good in the coffee. Then they experience, wow, the oat milk in coffee, sweet, superb taste. I'll buy this going forward for having my macchiato, cappuccino, or latte, and then I will use cow milk for other occasions. That is how we see the trend in Scandinavia, just like that. And we also know from consumer insights, one of the biggest retailers in Denmark, Coop, and the Danish Vegetarian Foundation, they do each year an analysis on asking people, do you have one meat milk-free day once a week or more? And since 2017, back then it was 8% of the total population who said, yeah, we're actually having that. In 2022, it's more than double. It's near 20% who's saying we're having a meat and milk-free day once a week. You know, the flexitarian lifestyle. And that is in general. When you then look at the answers from young people, 18 to 34 years old, back in 2017, it was 12%. In 2022, it's 30% saying yes, we have a meat and dairy-free day once a week or more. So we know that mainstream consumers have a desire to cut down on their consumption of meat and conventional dairy products, but we need to help them because they have so strong habits on how they're navigating in the supermarket that if you just place all your products in the niche chiller, you're not doing your business a favor. So we have to go into mainstream, and there you can embrace mainstream consumers to try your plant-based products, and if they just taste good enough, they will buy them again, and that is really good business.
Okay, thank you, Henrik. Swansea, maybe your short comment from consumer point of view. What do you think? What is the advantages of acting like this, like putting the plant-based product together in one shelf with regular products?
Well, I would repeat a little bit of what I said before, because for me, as a personal point of view, you must know I'm vegan, and I'm not in the mood, and I don't have the time to search vegan products in the markets. But my way of consumption is already different. You know, I go very often online or in the vegan store itself, so I do not have to deal with this. That's why I think from a mainstream point of view, like from flexitarian or omnivore consumer, I would definitely position the vegan product in the regular shelf to gain more visibility.
Okay, great.
And can I just add a comment? You know, in Denmark, what is really popular since 2 years is influencers on Instagram checking the regular shelf for all the products, looking, is this product vegan? And more just conventional products, they are actually accidentally vegan. And I think I know why. And we will also see this with the raw material prices on a lot of commodities going through the roof. I believe that conventional animal protein products will increase more than plant-based products. So that will also be a huge driver for trying the plant-based diet. And of course, mainstream food manufacturers, why do they make vegan products without claiming vegan or plant-based or anything? Because it's cheaper. It's cheaper protein, so of course they do that. So the whole snowball effect is rolling.
Yeah. Okay, great. So we are moving to the end of our meeting, and probably I have one last question. I will be probably addressing this to Sanita, Andrea, and Henrik. So from this, as a producers and distributors, so in the end of the day, vegan category development in general, is this a risk or this is investment and good investment in our future and developing of the business? Shortly, maybe you can comment this. Risk, investment, and in a few words, why? Who will start? Ladies first.
Ladies first, yes. Okay, well, well, just from in our case, just from the business point of view, we would not make such a big investment if we would see too many risks. Yes, so today we saw it as an opportunity to gain more people back to come back as a clients. We also saw that actually today this is a great opportunity for retailers to increase the value, because this is something what we saw on the animal protein-based products, that the value was dropping down, and in this case you can hit at the same time like two targets, is to save the planet and to increase the value by different ways, not only by increasing or putting up the huge margin on it, but getting that back the people. Like Henrik said, it's like it's how do you sell the product? Do you sell it only on promotions and people buy it only because it's cheap, or it's because it's affordable and they just buy it because they like it? And maybe there are more people who came back to the retail. And today, okay, like years ago, there was less products on the shelves. So they could play more with their brands, but now today everything is private label. And another thing, which is I think very important, is that do not rush to go on a private label. First of all, you need to get the good product, branded product. So branded product, brands are working on their values. Brands are working on their taste. Brands are working on a product. This is the investment what brand is making to get the sales going on and increasing the sales. So this is something very important. Like in canned fish category, we see a lot of coming up, but most of them, from my point of view, are on the shelves only because they claim it's vegan, not because it's healthy, not because it's tasty. And I think this is other one more point where we have to be very careful what we put on the shelves. And of course, each of us has a different understanding about the taste, about the appearance. But anyway, overall, I think what is good to put more vegan products on the shelf, that the product also for the consumer, that if you have V label and you are like with this V label, that is not the only reason why the product is on the shelf, but there is a reason that the product is good, it's tasty, and there also is a competition which keeps the price level good and also increases the possibilities to invest in the product and also gain the money for the retailer. So that is my opinion.
Okay, your opinion, this is good investment. Okay, we got it.
Yes.
Andrea, what about you?
Let's say that we are definitely on the same wavelength on with KARAVELA and Sanita. I mean, is a good investment. Having said that, we have everybody to avoid the commoditization of the category, so avoiding the low price that is useless, definitely useless, because of our target group likes to spend money on our products, on our brands, and it's really important to develop the category, supporting the brand and the connection between the target group and brand through the product, healthy product for vegan, vegetarian, flexitarian. And I do agree that if possible, to defend our position with the limitation of private label sounds good for the future of the category, at least in the next 10 years.
Okay, so investment as well. Okay, we got it.
Yeah, advertising.
Henrik.
Yeah, maybe to stay in the KARAVELA language, I would say that naturally we only swim in the blue oceans. Red oceans is not a big thing for us. So what we aim for when we are investing in innovation and product development is white spots in the big categories, the big 5 categories we're looking into. And you could say right now, I think, and Andrea also said it, that meat-free, very crowded place. Every week there's a new player in town. So you really have to deliver on taste, quality, like Sanita said, and product and clean label. I think clean label will be a big thing. We can see right now that there's a big push against processed food. In the hot thing in Denmark right now, driven by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture and the Minister for Food and Agriculture, is legumes, all types of legumes that we can grow in Denmark and boil and eat and fry on the pan, and it tastes so delicious, full of a lot of healthy proteins. So we are also in the investment part, both when it comes to innovation, buying more stainless steel for the facilities, but also in communication with consumers of the future. So we are one of the first movers in Scandinavia on TikTok, for instance. We already have, since 4 months, 70,000 followers. Crazy place to be.
Yeah.
Totally different content than Instagram and Facebook. It's goodbye Facebook, Instagram, and then TikTok is the thing. So we are moving along with the consumers. But one thing which I think is very important, and I think Andrea will agree with me, because I think Soya also do it this in a very sustainable way, is that in Naturally, when we're looking at our recipes on ingredients, we always try to source as locally as possible. And since January, we only use oat from Danish farmers in our organic plant-based dairy products. And that has been a huge task, having enough oat from the agricultural institutions in Denmark. Before that, we bought all of our oat in Sweden. And we buy the organic rice, and a lot of people claim us for, why do you import rice for your organic rice drinks from Asia? And we can tell them it's actually grown in Italy, and the same goes for the soya. Organic soya comes from France. So I think sustainability is also a key driver for us. We have made positive EBITDAs since 1988. So we are not interested in quick money and quick fixes from external partners who also only want to be here for business reasons. There's a greater goal.
Okay, thank you. So we have 3 answers that the plant-based food is quite good investment. I really hope that retailers will hear us, and we can together create new market, and we can create a new demand for this. So I think we are in a final stage. So probably if someone of you have some to add, to comment, you're able to do this right now. Meanwhile, I will check the chat about questions. Good, there is no question. It means that we have discussed very successfully, and everything is clear for all. Okay, so if someone want to sell,
there was a really good question. The energy crisis and the inflation going on, if that's a risk or a possibility.
Oh, we have one question.
Yeah, just add it now. And I think it's a great question. I see it as a huge opportunity for more growth for the plant-based industry.
Yeah. So do you see this question from Antonis? We have question. I can read it. Do you regard the current energy crisis and rise in inflation as an opportunity or threat to the expansion of plant-based products around the world? Who could answer on this question? If you also,
I actually
on our
just
side, it depends on how long it will continue. I mean, having said that, our target group as plant-based products is a powerful target group with, let's say, the intention to spend money on our products. We should be the last one to suffer on increasing price positioning. On the other end, it depends on how long and how big will be this crisis. We hope to be fast at the end of this crazy momentum of our life. Otherwise, effectively, the increasing cost of raw materials, energy, and everything around us won't be a good thing, even for plant-based product and for our industry supporting our product. Because at the end of the day, for sure, we should observe less capability in spending money, not just speaking about our market, but enlarging the view at all the category, conventional category. And we could observe even the increasing trend of discount, where probably we are less present like plant-based products. So at the end of the day, could be a true risk for the short development of our category.
Okay.
Yeah, well, maybe I can add, because we are, of course, in everyday life we are using both plant-based, non-plant-based products in our production, and I have to say, of course, it depends how long this crisis will go. One thing is the energy cost. Another thing is how fast you can move some of the raw material to get it from your country, because also the deliveries, the gas, the transportation, we already faced a huge price increase. So we need to remember that this crisis actually started before the war. And today, of course, it's even worse. It's getting worse. And but first of all, countries are trying to solve the problem. Hopefully, they do a good job on it. The second is, of course, we have, for example, grain and sunflower oil. We know that these at least two things where the Ukraine was the biggest exporter, and it means that there will be a lack of grain, the lack of sunflower oil in some period of time for export, not for their internal needs, in case they will not start a normal life soon. Yes, so I think today it's very, very hard to predict, but I think that if we will be hit by inflation, then both sides will be hit by inflation. And but here we also come to the point then, if today we already see the inflation. Yes, so even I had the story about the chocolate. Yes, I'm totally addicted to chocolate, and I was eating chocolate a lot, and then I decided again, not because the vegans told me that, but I just decided not to eat chocolate because of the health, or I don't know. I just decided not to eat chocolate. And then I read in one diet that it's good to eat a protein chocolate. And I went to the store, and well, of course, it's different pricing everywhere. But for example, regular Snickers, maybe it costs 80 cents or something like that. And then I go to store and I buy the protein chocolate, which is like 260. Really? And I bought it. And I was thinking, okay, am I a normal person paying 3 times more almost to buy some kind of protein chocolate, which was promoted to me by the influencer? Yes. So, but then I thought, okay, but I'm thinking about my health. So today, as a consumer, if I believe that it's healthy, okay, I'll buy less other foods and I spend more of my money to get the healthy food. So this is from the both sides. As a consumer, we already are affected from the inflation, and as a producers, I think both sides will be affected by the inflation, because anyway, nothing can be produced without a gas, nothing can be produced without other things. Yeah.
No, but you have to look at the value chain here. 1 liter of cow milk, you need to grow some crops on farmland for feeding the cow, for it to deliver milk. 1 liter of plant-based oat milk, you just need to harvest the crop and make the drink. So one thing is the price increase on commodities. Another thing is price increase on energy. And the value chain for a plant-based dairy drink is just much shorter than the one for cow milk. And let me give you an example. I read an article today that one packet, 200 grams of organic butter from Arla, increased 30% today on the shelf in the hypermarket in Denmark. And that is just insane. So I think there's, I see it as a possibility to get more people to try and buy and eat and consume and have a good experience with plant-based products. But of course, I think that because that is, we only produce plant-based products. So yeah, I think there's a huge potential.
Excuse me, Roland, but I have to leave the section because I have to catch a flight to London, and I'm really sorry, but it's late for me.
Yeah, and I have to go
to the airport.
We already done, yes. So we already done, and thank you for all our participants. Thank you for all our listeners. I really hope that you enjoy, and then we also will have this in recording. I will share you our recorded video that you can also use it for your needs. So once again, that was very interesting, and I hopefully that we will meet very soon on some exhibition together.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and thank
you so much. Thank you, guys.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good flight to London, and see you on another event. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. Ciao.